New system today. It's kind of hard to show using the mirror, but I've got this lapel microphone and a little receiver attached to my new handle here on the iPhone and a dongle cable. So now we're kind of wireless and then hardwire into the phone with a new kind of audio, which I'm not sure I like. And one of the reasons I'm not sure is because I'm not sure how good the ambient sound is going to be. For example, when T-Rex starts barking and running away, are we still going to be able to hear him? Can we still hear him? Not sure. It's all an experiment. Can never hear Steve because he's a cat. He's got light paws like a cat. 73 degrees and 72 indoors. Kept the AC going just because of the humidity. 8:12 a.m. on July 25th as we approach the final weekend of July 2024. And with this new lapel mic, I don't think it matters where I hold the camera. I think I can have the camera close to my body or way out, and it should all sound the same. I can hear a blue jay. Can you hear a blue jay? He stopped. There he is. All right, 2 blue jays. Testing the audio. Testing the weather. We had dense fog late yesterday and last night. It's just burning off. I should be able to zoom in, not change the audio. Look at that gorgeous fog coming through the islands there between Pettix and the whole gut. So pretty. The boats are pointed back toward the southwest. The wind has just shifted. We just had what's called a warm fropa, and the air is moving. So little air moving over the last several days in New England, at least down near the ground. Way up in the sky, there's been plenty of air, and there's been scattered showers and thunderstorms. In most cases, negligible amounts of rain, disappointed people with gardens and lawns. I'm thinking of you, Charlie Orloff, on Cape Cod, where he says they said we were going to get inches of rain. Well, this they never said that. We showed the heavy rain mostly missing off to the south, the southern stalled front, and missing to the north, and the northern stalled front. Pardon me. Some irreticulates or something in the air this morning. Irreticulates. So when there's an inversion, like there was last night with the fog, the emissions and the pollens and the irreticulates kind of settle into the lower parts of the atmosphere and get stuck. And they're stuck in my throat right now. So how much rain did I get? We had a 0.07 in there yesterday morning, another 0.03. So my grand total of 1/10 of an inch of rain over the last couple days. Worked in the garden quite a bit last evening, cleared out another spot, but you want to know the weather. So when there's a warm front right over you, the fog is right over you. And that was the case this morning. Instead of having dual stationary fronts, now we've got a occluded 1010 low pressure system in southeastern Canada, replacing the high, and a occluded front into northern New England, then kind of a triple point where the occlusion meets the cold front meets the warm front. And it's all lifting off to the east and the northeast. And there's another cold front off to the west that's going to come in with a scattered hit or miss, mostly miss, shower or thunderstorm today. Not expecting any severe weather. With this, yesterday the severe weather was across New York with some flash flooding, some wind damage, and the front kind of split. So if you look at the radar this morning, you can see the conduit of rain still extends. Yesterday I said from Texas, but it's really the coast of Mexico into Texas, off to the south of New England, and with another batch to the north. So we just couldn't focus the energy in New England with the energy to the north and the energy to the south. And T-Rex has to heckle us again. And even though there's a front coming through today, let's go to the HRRR. There's not much with it. But before I did that, I got to show the satellite image, I think. You can see a lot of clouds across New England. The heavy, bubbly clouds are well to our south and across Maine and points north. So we're not getting much heating this morning. And Rex, around this bush. Come on. Yep. Let's go. We are getting heating. I'm actually not sure. I didn't do a deep hawk. That's what the blue jays are squawking about. I don't know. Sharpshin? Cooper's Hawk? I don't know. I say things a lot here that I get corrected the next day, and I really do appreciate that. We're just unable to focus the energy in New England today, so scattered shower or thunderstorm, that's the HRRR right there. And then the isobars kind of tighten up a little bit. 1020 high pressure system coming in tomorrow, and that's going to be the beginning of new, beautiful air. T-Rex, you didn't just lift your leg on my tomato. Get up here. Come on. Rex. Oh boy. You come for the animals, right? Some of you come for the weather, some of you come for the aminals. And the plane's still taking off to the east, but that should shift around. So the Boston 5-day meteogram shows the little lightning bolt. This is the Euro. The Euro has been the least bullish on rain, now saying that Boston is going to get a thunderstorm this afternoon with a front coming through about 1 o'clock. And watch that dew point go from near 70 down into the 60s this evening and into the 50s overnight tonight. That is the new called cold air advection, but just think of it as dry air advection. It's not going to actually be cold. It's going to be warmer the next couple of days than it was the last 2 days with close to 80 degrees, but the dew point's so much lower. It's going to be a lot more comfortable. T-Rex now chasing pigeons that are flying. You can't catch pigeons. Are you not entertained? It's going to be a beautiful weekend. That's the bottom line. Starting tomorrow, there'll be some instability around, a couple of clouds, maybe a sprinkle in the higher elevations. But a gorgeous Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. It's the final weekend of July and probably the nicest one we've had. What are you doing? Inspecting the basil, taking a shortcut to the worm farm. All right, now I can hear a cardinal singing and a sparrow. Can you? And someone commented they haven't seen any chickadees this season. I haven't seen any chickadees either this season. What's going on with that? They've been replaced by tiny little bunny rabbits. T-Rex in the jungle. After this weekend, next week is kind of up in the air. It always is, right? And let's go to the Euro. Day by day, the front goes off, high pressure builds. And tomorrow, I didn't mention it, but the wind in the Euro meteogram actually stays from the northwest in Boston all day tomorrow. Not a sea breeze. The sea breeze develops on Saturday. That's when the high comes in here and you can't really see it anymore, and there's very few isobars. And what you do see, though, is the 570 thickness, the red line, and you see it go in a circle. The 570, very subtle there, in a circle over us Monday into Tuesday. That's an upper level 570 low pressure system. It just means instability, and showers and thunderstorms are going to start developing again Tuesday and Wednesday with that upper level low, and that may prevent the heat from rushing back into New England. But we are going to have off and on showers and thunderstorms, and the dew point gradually is going to come back up to 70, and the sort of nothing to hang your hat on, summertime thunderstorms are here. Looks like a warm front trying to come in here Wednesday and Thursday, and there's low pressure over the Great Lakes late next week. That'll keep our flow coming from the southwest after very little wind again next week with scattered showers and downpours. Some of us may get a couple of inches of rain, some of us may get nothing next week. And at the end, the heat is across most of the middle of the nation. How hot is it going to get in New England? That's a tough call. I mean, I think there's probably going to be a heat wave, especially away from the coast. But the Boston 14-day from the Euro here at weather.us shows temperatures pretty much holding in the 80s, right in the middle of the uncertainty range. The top of that uncertainty range is the low 90s, talking about next Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and those raindrops and lightning bolts. And the bottom of the uncertainty range is in the upper 70s, and those low temperatures, the operational numbers in the 70s, low temperatures in the 70s on Tuesday night, Wednesday night, Thursday night, Friday night, or into Friday anyway, mean that it's going to be very sticky. So uncomfortable weather for sleeping, but kind of classic midsummer type weather with showers and thunderstorms next week. And unfortunately, at the end of the period there, I went by it pretty quick, but it does show another front coming in about next Saturday or so. So next Saturday may not be as good as this Saturday, but you know, They can't even get the next day forecast right. So how's this audio? Is it better? What are you fishing for out there? So my in more from yesterday is kind of scattered all over the place, all kinds of random things. You can't have new beginnings without some kind of ending, and I saw the Jeep go out of the driveway again for the first time. I think the last 2 times it's gone out. The last time was just over a year ago. It's been on a tow truck, and I was able to drive it back last spring, but I'm not sure I'll be driving it back. Jeep for sale, Rubicon, 2005. Never even took the soft top out of the box. Brand new soft top. Make me an offer. The Rover, not for sale. We love that too much. But there's going to be an Audi for sale. And I went to a market. I just wanted to get a tomato, and I go by this market all the time. So I went in there, and it's massive. It's got everything from housewares to a liquor store and all kinds of individual boutiques, and also fish and jellyfish in their natural environment. Blue crabs. Did those blue crabs come from Crab Creek in Dennis? And what else? The fog coming in. Asking Kevin, why aren't you racing tonight? Oh, because dense fog. He says, no, actually we tried to race, but there was no wind. Oh, sailboat races require wind. So the 3 knots did not develop. I think after you came in, we did get the 3 knots. Anyhow, southwest wind today, northwest wind tomorrow, refreshing air, beautiful weather. Oh yes, and Michael Page, forgot that. How could I forget Michael Page coming in to talk to the kids at the Launch Your Meteorology career at the Blue Hill Observatory. All right, Tim, long-winded. That's enough. Just go to it. And more from yesterday. I'm late. It's 9:15. A little chilly up here on top of the Great Blue Hill. Light breeze from the southeast. I think the air is actually a little cooler than the water. Water close to 70, air temperature mid-60s. Differential advection day. We'll talk about that. That'll be a topic today.
And we'll hear from you guys if there are certain things that you're interested in finding, because there's so much information available. We can walk through how you can find it very easily. Personally, and I'm going to show you this, which I know Tim uses too. This is kind of new in the last few years, Pivotal Weather. It's free, which is why I'm showing you. Have you guys used Weatherbell at all? Okay, Weatherbell is paid. It is awesome, but you do need to pay for a subscription. I use one through the station because I'm cheap and don't pay for it myself. But this is really good resource for freebie if you want to use it. So you toggle up to the lot of different models. So if I'm just looking for like a very quick and dirty what's going on, I think most meteorologists that you'll talk to will say they probably start with the European. I do. So the European model that all the nations in Europe contribute to, everyone in the European Union will put money in, and it creates this model. So we're going to choose the European model, and we can toggle from national. We can look at the Northeast. Let's just look at the Northeast. But you can look at the big picture too, which is always good. And I like to look at it as a slideshow. So I just look very quickly first, and then I sort of figure out what after it moves through Taiwan and moves towards mainland China.
Michael Page turning us on to some new data that I had not seen.
Really, he just displays it beautifully.
Hammerberg.
So I'll look at this.
Real-time tropical cyclones, and the name of the website is arctic.som.
Wow, for sure I'm into
Cool. Thanks, Michael. This is great.
Okay. Other questions? I don't even know how I got on that tangent.
Because you like colorful graphics that are
I do. And I mean, technology makes
informative.
It so nice. I can't make these things, but I mean, he's great at them. Even candy companies, so like Mars Candy hires meteorologists to try to coordinate when they should be buying sugar and coordinating their sugar. There's obviously a huge need for meteorologists in insurance and reinsurance. So there are some companies in Boston that work with catastrophe modeling.
Wait a minute, I'm sorry, I missed that. Who made that map, Charlie?
Bob Copeland.
Bob Copeland. It looks like a piece of art, work of art.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
This is what you guys are going to be doing
Blizzard of
by the end of the
78.
day.
This front is what?
Included.
Included. Good. Right, so just fascinating thing, and you could see in those days, what are these lines called? Excellent, so you guys know what you're doing here, but, so this is, they would actually draw something like this right on television as he's giving the forecast. you would put that on every day. They would have to do that for the map
Before computers,
before.
hand drawn, and that is a piece of art. And I'm surprised he didn't sign that one. What's his name? We're talking about way up in the atmosphere now. Denzel's going to point out some.
What jet is this? A subtropical jet stream? What is this?
Yep.
That's a subtropical jet stream. And there's a trough digging down from up here. But yeah, we have the subtropical jet stream going right above, Massachusetts, the eastern side of the United States, which is bringing upper level divergence across this area, which is probably
Diffluence, divergence, same thing, air separating. Can you kind of point that out where it is?
So yeah, it's right here. No, all like this above. This is like 250 millibars, so it's high up in the air, but it's bringing air across like this, and that helps the air rise faster, which creates like thunderstorms or small like.
Excellent.
Yeah.
About 1 p.m. Lazy air. Still kind of coming in from the east. Slight raindrops right now. We just learned about what is wind, what is time, what is weather, what causes weather. How about what is a weed? Well, a weed is a flower growing where you don't want it to grow. There's Queen Anne's lace, and we like that. And is this actual switchgrass that was chopped? I didn't chop it, but my mistake the other day calling sedge grass switchgrass. I think this is actually switchgrass. Looking down the great blue hill toward the west. Is this thistle? I think it might be thistle. I know there's some wild blueberry around here. I'm gonna find the wild blueberry. There go the future meteorologists off to the National Weather Service. A team in Norton now, still called National Weather Service Boston. And there are all the Blue Hill sheltered instruments. See you tomorrow, guys. Walking on this bedrock, which is like 200 million years older than Cape Cod. It was kind of scraped down. Could have been the size of Mount Washington, perhaps, if not for that glacier that advanced more than 200 million years ago. You can still see the markings left from the Laurentide ice mass on the Great Blue Hill. James Redman, lifetime supporter of Blue Hill Observatory, lost way too soon. The history here is just amazing. We're in the instrument room. Looks like there's a little rain, too little rain, coming through this afternoon. When was the first blueberry this year, Matt?
June 26th.
And how's that compared to average?
About 7 days late.
Ah, interesting. And the blueberries are out there with the weather instruments. Well guarded. He says because it wasn't hot enough. Blueberries like it hot. Anyhow, so they should keep coming for a while, huh? Maybe.
They should.
Except for somebody already ate them all.
Yeah, exactly.
67 degrees. When's the last time we had a low temperature higher than 70, if that happens? All right, it's about 1 o'clock. Just checking out of here. Nice little steady rain, keeping us cool. So far, the high temperature here at the Blue Hill has not hit 70 today. We'll see what happens. Could be the coolest day of the entire month. Ah, feels good. It's almost chilly. Actually came in looking for a tomato, but they got jellyfish. We got fish swimming around in tanks. Pretty cool, huh? What kind of fish? What kind of fish you want? Striped bass? Nalipa? Oh, that's pretty. Those are good. Inside of crab. Conch eats scallops, so they gotta be good, right? And maybe do some fishing down at Crab Creek. There's green crabs that goes under the rocks in Weymouth. And now those are girl blue crabs. It's kind of illegal. I won't tell anybody. Little light rain here in the southeast side of Quincy. Fun markets around. Inside there you can find just about anything when you just gotta have some kimchi. Here we go. we could call this a little intermission. Summer intermission. A July afternoon, not even lifeguards at the beach. It's almost chilly in the 60s. Refreshing. We'll be back in the heat next week. Ready to see how fun this driveway is? Okay, Rubicon. Maybe we'll see you again. 2005. Got it new. Almost 20 years ago. That Rover's almost the same age. Fairly well. A little sad seeing that Jeep go away. Hopefully it has some more life in it for somebody. Off into the fog. This is classic when a warm front gets close to you to have this kind of fog. Air temperature, water temperature, and dew point all at 66. Now my concern about the audio, maybe that sounds better with that lavalier mic, but I'm afraid I'm losing the ambient. You hear that songbird, sparrow, and the waves. The audio on the iPhone 15 Pro Titanium may be good for ambient, but horrible for the monologue, as far as I can tell. Still a work in progress. Shouldn't be this much work for the amount of money that we spend on this stuff. So many things on my mind when I make these forecasts in the morning. One of the things I didn't even think about was how dense the fog would be for the sailboat race this evening, which I'm assuming did not happen. Right? You got to be able to see the boats and the markers and each other. I think the wind is east-southeast at 3 or 4 knots, though. I think we might have got that part right. So much comes into play when you're forecasting the weather.